Listeners, this is very exciting. I feel like it was in the stars. I am about to talk to an amazing woman, a parent, and a famous astrologer and writer. She and her sister are the AstroTwins, and they are the longtime astrologies for Elle magazine. They've done celebrity readings. They've worked with like top business leaders on improving their lives and their businesses by using astrology. They've written over 20 books, and there's a new book called the Astrology Advantage. Use your horoscope for personal and professional success. We have another cosmic similarity, and that is our name. Because my guest is Ophira Edut. Hello.
Hello. My whole life I went not thinking there was another Ophira E on the planet. And
Me
then
too.
You popped up.
Okay, so this is what I remember, just to put it in perspective for us, how we have met before. And the way we met was I had a mutual friend who is a comedy writer, Todd Levin, who knew you. But I was slightly aware of you beforehand because I was putting together a website for the first time. And I could not get Ophira.com. And I was like, are you kidding me? Because you had it.
I had it. I was a nerd who bought it in 1996. And
Brilliant.
I know, I remember, I think you either reached out to me and asked me about it, or I just found out about that when we met.
Yeah.
But
hilarious.
I felt requisite Jewish guilt over it, of course.
Oh, well, I went the other way because then I was like, well, who is this Ophira.com? And, you were this incredibly accomplished writer and speaker, and you were already, doing astrology. You were doing astrology, I think, from a young age, but we'll get to that because the next thing I just want to ask to, just jump forward is when we met for a coffee years ago.
We did.
The West Village. A place that has forever changed because the place that we went to is no longer there, but it was such a hot place at the time. And I think you lived near it, correct? Clementine's?
It was once called Clementine's, and then it was called Otto or Otto, if you wanted to be.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was a Mario Batali, the disgraced Mario
Batali
restaurant for many years. And he was one of my web design clients.
No.
My side gig. Yeah, I designed their first website. So I think we went and sat at the bar.
Uh-huh.
And I believe we learned also that I'm a Sagittarius with a Capricorn rising, and you're a Capricorn with a Sagittarius rising. I grew up in Detroit, Toronto, right? I mean,
Calgary, but
okay,
yeah.
but just
Detroit, Toronto would have been closer, but good enough. Yeah.
Right.
And we are born, just to close the loop on this, as we discovered this morning, because it turns out the internet is correct about some details, we are born the same year. And basically, I guess 11 months apart. I was born in January and you were born in December, but on the same day of the month.
Right. The second.
What?
I mean, what the heck? Even if people listening don't believe in astrology, I mean, this is like a cue to at least believe that there's some other force at play here, because the coincidence vortex is really on point here.
Okay, and then I just have to mention too, another coincidence that I learned, which is a little bit of an abstraction, but I'm going to go with it anyways. We both have a parent who's from Israel. Thus the name, listeners, because Ophira is a very Israeli name. So that is usually an Israeli parent or someone in the lineage is involved. My mother was Dutch. I am to understand that your husband is Dutch. Is that correct? Right.
Yes, and my stepdaughter's name is Clementine, the former name of the place where we met. So yes, I have a half Dutch daughter, and so it's just the weirdness.
That's
of
amazing.
It all.
Amazing, because I am a half Dutch daughter, you may say. Did you name your daughter after that place?
No, she's my stepdaughter. She was.
Oh, yes.
My daughter is named Sibel. She's accidentally named after a tarot card. Story for another day. But
oh, interesting.
Yeah, she's named after a Roman goddess. So, but yeah, my dad is the Israeli parent, and he picked my name, which most people are like, oh, that's a very old fashioned.
It's very old fashioned. It is very old fashioned. Although, so I used to have a whole joke about how it was old fashioned and that I would talk to Israelis and I'd go, you know, whether Ophira is correct. And they would go, no, it's an old name. Nobody has it. You know, like a
Right.
Mabel or a Gladys. I called myself the Mabel of
Gladys.
Jerusalem or the Gladys of Tel Aviv. And Eunice of Haifa. Haifa
Yes.
Eunice.
My mother's name is Doris. I'm like, I heard that one was starting to make a comeback because I was like, that one's never coming back. But you say that, and it's like,
And it's coming back immediately.
Yeah.
But suppose someone told me Ophira is coming back.
Okay. All right. Gladys Eunice, move over. Ophira's
And
back
may
in
I
town.
say, I don't know if, hopefully they're listening. I met a couple, like two people that had a small baby in Columbus, and they were fans of mine from my quiz shows days. And so they named their daughter Ophira. So
Creepy
we're
and
continuing.
awesome.
We're continuing. I get a lot of cats and dogs, but that's my first child.
Cats and dogs. You know, do people ever like go like, did you make your name up? Or like,
Constantly.
I'm just like, no, I didn't. Because they're like, oh, that's a really good name for an astrologer. You must have made that up. I'm like, yeah, it is. And no, I did not.
Oh, that's funny. They're like, they think that you picked an exotic name to further your brand.
Yes. Yes. Like, I get it. It's done. It's not, you know, I'm not above an influencer marketing trick here or there, but I draw the line at paperwork in City Hall. You know?
That's right. To like change a passport. Okay, so give me the makeup right now. You just mentioned it, but let's just summarize it. Give me the makeup of your family.
Okay, well, I have a Dutch, I'll just call him a husband because
got it.
You know, it's 2024 and we're just in we're in that, I like to say that relationships are in an iOS update. So let's just say I'm maritally fluid at the moment.
Okay, right, exactly. Looking forward to a reboot.
Or not, right,
Okay.
right. You know, hormones change and living with another human being, especially with the Y chromosome, becomes challenging.
Sure does.
So I opted not to at the moment. But like, love them, and you know, how Dutch men can be a little feisty and spicy, and you throw in an Israeli American, and it's
a
like,
lot. It's a lot.
Room for all these spices in the cabinet.
Two strong personalities, just coming from that culture. Everyone's different, obviously, but that's what I would say.
Right, the two cultures that make a sound.
That's true.
Language, right?
Absolutely, a lot of spitting and a lot, and I've never met anyone in my mother's side of the family, nor my father's, who have ever said, I am wrong.
Oh, no, never. Absolutely not. So, you know, couple of dresses, do a body and a relationship good. So, but Clementine, the stepdaughter who I've raised since age 6, is now 25. And
whoa,
I know. And my daughter, my Dutch, Israeli, Indonesian daughter, Sibel, just started high school yesterday. So she's turning 14 in a month. Yeah.
Okay. So, just to begin with, being a step parent, I mean, did you want to have kids, or was that something on your purview in your life?
I thought I was.
Did you predict it as an astrologer?
Well, okay, so let's just go right there. So in the chart, and this is in the Kabbalah astrology too, there are 2 points called the North and South Node. The South Node is your past life sign, and the North Node is what you're becoming. Very interesting and telling. They change every 18 months, so they kind of give you this like short code life map. Yeah, so I knew that my past life sign was Cancer, the sign of the mother, and my North Node becoming sign is Capricorn, which is about business and work. So I said, all right, according to this, I've been a mom in a lot of past lives. It tracked with my life experience because like kids always flock to me. I'm really good with them.
Yeah.
Other people's kids call me mom and start ignoring their parents and following me around. I'm like,
really?
Yeah.
Drawn towards you. Okay.
Drawn like in like the creepiest of ways. So I was like, I think I did that. I don't know if I'm going to do it. Business is my life jam this time around. But starting with the stepdaughter was actually really good because it was like part-time momming with still time. And look, I got accidentally pregnant like everyone else in the world.
You got accidentally pregnant.
Yeah, I did. I did with my daughter Sibel. So I did. So short answer is like, no, I didn't think I was going to be a parent.
Okay.
Anything that didn't have an LLC at the end of it.
See, just because I am going to talk about this theme as we talk forward, because one of the things that I think is fascinating about anyone that works in the medium of that you do, where you're dealing with a map that is allowing you to have perspective on people, but also, it's a map that is something that leads you. And yet life is full of surprises. Didn't see that one coming.
Yep. Although if actually though, I did look back at my own horoscope. Okay, so on and this was like the biggest cosmic joke on me. So I peed on a stick. I believe it was like January 17th, 2010. And that day, Jupiter, which is the planet of big life changes and new horizons, moved into Pisces, which for me as a Sagittarius rules the house of motherhood and parenting. In my own horoscope, I have a monthly horoscope. There could be pregnancy news, but when I wrote it, I wasn't thinking it applied to myself. It was a New Year's Eve. I'm certain that was when it happened, and didn't see that one coming, but I did.
But you did. And so as a step parent, formerly to that, you say you raised, were you a very, very active parent?
Yeah, she actually lived with us for a few years. We immediately bonded. We have the same moon sign. I'm going full astro here.
No, I love it.
Clementine is a Leo with a Scorpio moon. I'm a Sagittarius with a Scorpio moon. And when you have the same moon sign as someone, you find a kindred spirit in them a lot of the time. So the case in point, first she met my dog, Jeffrey Wasbind. I had a dachshund who needed a male role model, needed a father figure, Seymour. He needed a guy in his life. And so Jeffrey kept him while I flew home to Detroit for Passover and introduced him to Clementine. And they all bonded. So a couple weeks later, I met Clementine. And within 10 minutes, she was holding my hand and it was super cute. And we were like Insta BFFs. It was adorable.
Oh,
yeah. So, I mean, and she's in many ways, she's a lot more like me than my own biological
that's so
daughter.
interesting.
Yeah.
Nurture versus nature. Did you decide that she was going to call you Bomb, or did she call you Ophira?
She called me Ophi. I got the nickname Ophi.
You got the nickname.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was like, you already have a mom. You don't, let's not confuse the kid. But I mean, everybody's different.
Everybody's different. And did you help, I guess, pick the college? I mean, you were saying.
Yeah, I mean, she knew what she wanted to do. She was very decisive. I mean, she was true to her chart in every way. She started her own little YouTube makeup tutorial channel when she was.
I love that.
Yeah. And I did. I mean, let's just say I didn't use her birth chart or her horoscope to like push her in a direction. I just let her become who she was and be like, oh, you know what? This actually makes sense that she wants to do this. Let me support her in that. Or better veto this proposal she's made to homeschool her way through high school, move to LA and be part of that YouTube house.
Oh, no. Yeah. You managed to talk her out of that.
Yeah, but it was a hard no. I was like, I get it. You're a Leo. LA is ruled by Leo. You would thrive here, but I wouldn't. So we're not going.
Okay. Yep. Okay. So, right. That sounds like you had a lot of power and authority in that relationship. Was the other mother, did you talk? Were you on a similar, thought pattern?
We didn't really.
Okay.
We didn't really, but I tried to be as supportive as I could about them having a relationship through the years. Yeah. I mean, they didn't for a while, but had to facilitate that in high school when she was in high school because I was like, needs more adults.
And it worked for a while?
It worked. Yeah, it worked.
Oh, good.
They kind of, when she could drive herself pretty much by that time to her mom's, and they sorted out their relationship. So, interesting though. It's like, because looking at the things through the lens of like, what are my personal values? And then also, what are the stars saying? I always take both into account. Like, how can I glean some more insight from understanding what's happening right now, but also I'm always guided by my values. I'm like, what's best for her?
Yeah. Okay. So many things. Let's get this straight. How does one become an astrologer? Like, is it a gift? Was this something you were interested as a little kid?
Yeah, no, it wasn't. I mean, it was a pure accident. I went to the University of Michigan. I studied art. I almost went to engineering school. Engineering, because I was really good at math and science.
Oh.
And I had female science teachers, luckily, in high school who were really good at teaching it. And they wanted me, they were really into STEM for girls. So they're like,
right,
get her into this top engineering school. But I was like, I opted not to, but my nerdy side remained. Hence my procurement of the Ophira.com domain name. Because I had a side gig doing IT at U of M. So
I had a side gig of doing IT at McGill.
What the hell?
It's hilarious.
Oh my God.
It's hilarious. I mean, this is back when like people were using apps like it wasn't even an app, like Quark Express. Like I was helping people lay out things. I was just sort of talented at it because I don't know, it takes a certain kind of brain.
Because the name Ophira means you will be a full stack developer who knows how to do IT and graphic design. So, wow, this parallel universe is getting
hilarious. Okay, fun. So you were doing IT, little IT.
Doing that. And then my college boyfriend, who also had a Scorpio moon, Calvin, got me a birth chart for a gift. We were like starting to like just talk about astrology in a fun party game kind of way for a while. And he got a chart done for me as a gift. It was 30 pages. It was insanely accurate and detailed. And I was like, whoa, like this, because it details what every planet in your chart means. I was like, this is a full-on portrait of all the things about me that don't make sense, that are contradictory. And it was so validating and so relieving that I think, it helped me avoid a lot of the struggles, because I was like, okay, it's all right. I don't have to be perfect and fit in a box. I can be intense and I can be this way and all that. And so in my IT job, there was one other woman there, Ramona, who was also, she was obsessed with astrology, and she had found a little piece of software that did people's charts. So we started playing around with it, and I started doing it for all my friends. And then I have a photographic memory, so you probably do too. I remember.
I don't think I do. I think that's all you. I wish I did.
Okay, all right, fine. 1 out of 50 we don't have in common, but yeah. And then I had a career in publishing and using Quark Express and design. And I was like, I'm going to teach myself web design while I'm doing this IT job, waiting for someone to jam the printer or erase their dissertation on the one floppy disk they saved it on.
That's right.
Yes. Trauma.
Oh my God.
Trauma there. Yeah. So can you imagine people getting PhDs, but not thinking enough to back up copies of their dissertations?
Oh, because if you're not even used to that, you don't even know what that is.
No, I mean, not in the 90s.
Not in the 90s.
Go around and be like, you might want to get another disc.
Oh, it's amazing. Will it fit on this floppy? Yeah.
Yeah, will it? Yeah.
I don't know.
Exactly.
WordPerfect. So. I don't even know. I can't remember what the word processing, WordPerfect. That's what came to mind.
MS-DOS, Pine for email. Yeah, all the nerdy old days. But, oh, the good old days. Yeah, I just started doing chart after chart and reading about it and remembering it and being like, damn, this is accurate every time.
Really?
Yeah.
You just found that it was literally, I mean, this is the one thing that I think skeptics of astrology will point to, is that it can feel like one size fits all, because the language and maybe the vagueness, and that we are also multifaceted, that you read something, you just automatically go, oh yeah, I can see that.
Right. Yes. And I always thought that too. That's why I'm a skeptic myself of everything. So yeah, I would read about being a Sagittarius, just my sun sign or zodiac sign. It's like, yeah, that's true. They rule publishing and entrepreneurship.
Right.
I do that. Yes. But I was like, okay, that's interesting. Moving on. But when I saw the whole chart that was like, oh, I have my moon, Mercury, Venus, and Mars in Scorpio, or I have a Capricorn, the details of how those all fit together, the houses that they were in and the areas of life that got charged up, the relationships of the planets to each other, that's when it got like, all right, I don't know what this is, but this is not like, this is just too accurate to be.
Okay. So it also appealed to, there's a science brain in there that you got, that got in there. And you're literally putting to cross-referencing all this kind of different information to put this knowledge about yourself.
Yeah. I mean, now, it's like if you break down a chemical compound into the elements of it, right? You break down a person the same way.
Okay. I like it. So your home growing up in Detroit, rabbi mom.
Yeah.
Religious?
As much. Yes. Growing up, my parents were conservative Jews. We didn't keep kosher, but like we had Shabbat dinner every Friday night at my grandparents' house. We did every holiday. We were never allowed to have a Christmas tree.
Right.
Which I'm okay with. Yeah. But she became a rabbi when I was already an adult at age 55. She came to New York and went to rabbinical school.
Amazing.
My dad stayed with her for part of the time and went to classes probably with her. Yeah.
And so there's a very mystical side to Judaism. Was your mother at all interested in that?
She is, but she's really like a Torah nerd. She's a Torah and Talmud and Tanakh nerd. Yeah. She's very academic about it, kind of, and just like really speaks Hebrew fluently. But she's also very open to the mystical. She always talked about being a Leo my whole life. So
oh, really?
She loves it. She embraces it. I mean, my mom is a rabbi. My dad is a kibbutznik and a landscaper. So I figure we got the heaven with her. We got the dirt and the earth with him, and then the astrology is somewhere in the middle.
That's right. Or above the stars. I don't know which way you want to look at it.
Right.
And I saw that you mentioned something. I love this turn of phrase that everybody in your house spoke a different native language. Another similarity.
Yeah.
Because my parents had different native languages, and then we spoke English, which was the third. So we all had, which until you said that, I had never really thought about how that really wreaks havoc on basic communication.
Right. Oh my God. Like, can you just listen to anyone speaking a foreign language and just know what they're talking about by some of their gesturing and tones? Because
I'm very good at following along. I'm very good.
Yep.
Yeah. You just sort of like, you're taking the big picture in all the time. You're like, this is not about the words. We're going for big picture. It's like speed reading. I've never done speed reading, but that's the concept. You like glance at a page and you take it all in.
Totally.
So would you describe, I don't know, your house as a chaotic environment? Was it loud? Was it, full of that?
Yeah. It was. Yeah. My mom was always getting another degree.
Really?
Yeah. She was like overachiever. She was like in night school at getting first her master's in education and then counseling. And she was a course junkie, but it was great, and then our dad he didn't speak English. So he was like one degree away from getting his master's himself in urban planning when he came here. But he came here 3 weeks before I was born. So had to quickly go to night school. He learned a lot of English from watching Sesame Street.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And, it works for kids.
Worked. Yeah. Suddenly you're thrown into a new country with twins. Good luck, babe. But
yeah.
Yeah, so it was very chaotic. My grandfather was a German Jew, so he was very uptight and regimented. My dad's a Sephardic Jew. He was gesticulating with every word, and it was a lot.
It was a lot. And then you are a twin. You were born with it could be a best friend. I take it because you work together all the time, and you're known as the AstroTwins, and you write books together, that you have a very tight relationship. And I am assuming, I am not a twin, but I'm assuming that's how it was from the start.
It was. And we had our own language too, which my mother actually recorded in some kind of dictionary. I don't know if she actually defined the words, but we would like talk to each other in full conversations in another language. So just throw one more in there. Yeah.
Do you remember anything about this other language?
Not really. No, but I've got to, I got to find
But
the
I'm just trying to think of
dictionary.
what it sounded like. You just putting together different sounds.
Different sounds. Yeah. It was just different sounds, but in like multi-syllabic words. So go figure.
Interesting. Are there any twins in the rest of your family and like
No,
going back? No.
we're the only ones.
It's fantastic. And when you guys were growing up, was there I feel like there's so many twins around me and my son and his world now, and
Yeah.
that is a
IVF
lot.
twins.
Yeah, that's a lot to do with that. It does. And some people are like, "Oh, I'm from," there's 10 pairs of twins is in my different family backgrounds. Like we are twin people, and other people, that's what happens when they are doing fertility treatments. It's all over the
Yeah.
place. And did you know any other twins growing up?
Yeah, actually, it was hilarious because where we grew up in Detroit, Eminem 8 Mile Road,
Yeah.
AstroTwins 9 Mile Road. So, but our high school was on 8 Mile. Yeah. And
No.
yeah, and Eminem is the same age as us. So we actually used to go to the same hip hop club. There was only one called St. Andrew's Hall, the Shelter down in Detroit. So he used to be there having these hip hop battles with these other guys. And like we'd be so annoyed because we were dancing. And then all of a sudden these guys would take
Oh
over.
my God.
Who is this asshole?
Slim Shady, get out of here.
Slim Shady. Okay, yeah, right. I know when I first heard out that Eminem, what a stupid name. Like, never going anywhere with that one. Melt in your mouth, not in your hand. He's a candy wrapper, but yeah, no, didn't go. I should stick to astrology.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
No trend forecasting here, but okay, yes. So what was? God,
Oh, we were just talking about your other twins, if there were other twins around you.
So 9 Mile Road, 1 mile outside of Detroit proper. Not too many Jews. It was actually the largest Arab population outside of the Middle East. Came there in the 80s.
Oh, wow.
So,
great food.
Yeah.
Great food.
That's how we got our Israeli-esque food.
Yeah.
So we had a black Arab and non-Jewish white neighborhood that I grew up in. So there was another set of twins named Carol and Cheryl. Oh,
no.
Yes.
Great. I love it.
Hold on a second. We got a dog barking.
That's okay. What kind of dog?
She is a Dachshundier.
A Dachshundier, a Cavalier and a Dachshund?
Cavalier and a Dachshund, yeah.
Oh, that sounds adorable.
Adding her language to the podcast. So, yeah, she's adorable. We'll see if she shows up, but threw her some scraps like you do with your real kids.
Good. Yeah, exactly. Some meat in the corner. Get at it, children.
Right. iPad and dried jerky. Isn't that enough for you? What do you want? So Carol and Cheryl, their dad was a Baptist minister who thought that the library was Satan's playground.
Really?
And
the
Jews
whole library
were either God's chosen people, but also needed to be saved from the devil. So
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm always into that. Save me.
Right. Save me. Exactly. What do you got? What do you got here? Satan's bait. Throw something at me in the cage. So,
I mean, just as a tangent, someone did say to me in that sort of way, a stranger said to me, "I'm going to pray for you." And I was like, get as many people as you can on that.
Right. Exactly. Cool. Awesome. Please do.
Yeah. Keep going.
Do. Work the influence angle however you can. So,
yes.
They did pray for us.
Okay.
My mom was also really big on us being in Girl Scouts.
Oh, yes. I went to Girl Guides. That's the Canadian version.
Girl
but
Guides,
yes.
Yes. So I was a Girl Scout till an unnatural age. And
so wait a second, because you go through different ranks in
Right.
Girl Guides. Like you're a Brownie, then you're a Girl Guide, and then I think you graduate to Pathfinder is what it is.
That was different in Canada. We had cadets.
Cadets. Oh, it's very military, much more military.
Seniors. It was. I mean, I loved the camping and the outdoors and the nature, so I stayed as long as I could. But then puberty won the toss up. My mom remained a Girl Scout leader, though, for the few girls that had no social acumen or shame and decided to stay in it. Lucky them. But Carol and Cheryl were in Girl Scouts with us, and our mom decided that it was a good idea for our interfaith, multicultural troop to learn about each other's backgrounds. So we went to their church once, and I remember it was like very, very like Southern Baptist. Like, I can't quite remember what happened. Oh, right. Right. I think their dad, who's a minister, said something. And we have some Jewish guests here today, and they're thinking about joining us or joining the flock. Or he made some kind of
Oh,
announcement that was truly, fabricated. But it was an awkward moment of like, no, bruh, I'm just trying to get another badge on my sash, okay?
yeah.
I'm trying to earn the Satan's helper badge, okay? So
I was obsessed with getting as many badges. It's really a bad system,
it
honestly.
is.
I don't know if you I don't want to put my son in Boy Scouts only because I was so obsessed with those dumb badges.
See, another thing we've in common. I had so many, I literally had to have 2 freaking sashes. And my mom would try to make me wear it. I was like, I'm such this Capricorn overachiever part that we both have. I was like, I got the auto mechanic badge. And then when I was 21, I was driving with my friend. She got a flat tire. And I legit dialed back to the 6th grade badge earning and changed her tire.
No.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Did you put your daughter into Girl Scouts?
I did not. I was really the opposite of my mom. I was so busy with like working on. I was so busy writing a book called Mom Astrology. I didn't have time
Yes.
to raise her. Uh,
Yes.
no, she didn't really want to do it. She was like, I don't know. Like she would join things and then just be like so not into it. I stopped making her join stuff after a while.
Right. You were
Plus, the
like,
Girl
well, for
Scout
not
leaders, yeah, they were not like my mom. No.
I know it's right. You had the added advantage where you had this person that was your leader. That was, yeah, I didn't have that. So either you liked them or you didn't. That is true. That the leader is a huge part of it.
Yeah, I think my mom went above and beyond the average Girl Scout leader. So, like, probably it was just more like, oh, they're selling cookies at the grocery store and calendars, and then just like hanging out in the library, or maybe like doing something that would be more fun to do without having to talk to a bunch of people that I'm not in the mood to talk to because I've been working all day. Does that sound rude? Is that rude?
No, not at all. You're a career parent. That's what's going on there. Okay.
Parallel play all the way.
Parallel play. Okay, so let's talk about, because you just mentioned Momstrology. That one of your books is specifically geared to parents and moms, and we're talking about astrology that is talking about your parenting style, astrology that is talking about your kid, and then your compatibility of. So, I mean, this to me is so interesting, and I started glancing through it, and I got to say, I felt you were speaking a lot to what my son is like. So, one step back, astrology is huge. In the last few years, I feel like astrology was big. I think when I was in my early 20s, it was very big. And then I would say it kind of dropped off. There was still a lot of people that were into it, but it was more, it hit different markers in pop culture and maybe was a little bit more into the amusement, the delight, the recreation aspect. And then recently, I think 3 years ago, maybe timed with the pandemic, I don't know, you tell me, huge, huge. It is a language all the time. People will even use it as an excuse. I can't do that. I'm an Aries.
Right, which I'm not down with that at all.
So why do you think that is?
I think it's because of apps. So what happened in 2019, this app called CoStar, which probably you even have on your phone, a lot of people know it. They got like $5 million of venture capital. And
I see.
Yeah. I mean, I think what happened when I started writing horoscopes for teen people was, I think, 2001 or 2. So it was still like, I got to explain everything really, like Mercury retrograde means this, a full moon means this. And you could just learn stuff from books and a little bit of internet. But I think as social media started,
I see.
in the early 2010s, people started sharing more about themselves that way. So it picked up momentum again. You know, it wasn't like that every 5 years Claire's had an initial bag and a zodiac sign bag kind of trend we were on until then. But the early 2010s, that picked up. And then when CoStar got funded in 2019, they went on a massive PR campaign about how there was this $2.2 billion spiritual services business and how it was they just were everywhere. So people started doing it. And
Yeah.
I honestly think that because a lot of women became more powerful, and the this is going to sound crass, but hey, the guys that wanted to sleep with them knew they'd better damn well get co-star on their phone and be ready to send over their chart if they wanted to have a chance with us.
Amazing. Yeah.
They had to be the millennial and Gen Z guys had to be educated on these things.
Okay, so compatibility. I mean, we always joke in live stand-up that the only reason live stand-up came back as popular as it did wasn't because people needed a laugh. It is because people needed to have sex, and it's a great date to take someone on.
Whatever
and that's
works. I heard the population is dwindling, so we need more stand-up, more astrology apps.
For astrology. So to say that part of it was led by the fact that people are just trying to, it's about compatibility. They're using it to literally date in the world and find someone to be with. So as an astrologer, you have all this information that you are able to provide people and able to provide yourself. So first of all, what do you do with stuff that is unfavorable? Let's say even for your kid. Let's say what do you do with that?
I summon my mom's diplomacy and present the bad news.
You do?
Yeah, and I would say okay, all right, Ophira, Pluto, which is the planet of transformation. Yes, it can destroy in order to rebuild. Just went back into Capricorn. Good news. Silver lining. Let's get that in there quick. On November 19th, it's leaving. It'll never be back in our lifetimes. I would just be so here's what you do with that.
Okay.
This could be a little thorny time. Just happened September 1st. But here's how you can actually make it into something that works for you. I think maybe it's the Israeli, hardcore upbringing, but I'm all the immigrants in the house. But I think you kind of grow from your challenges and adversity, and it creates resilience. So I'm not the kind of person that's looking for life to always be easy. I'm cool, give me a curveball. Let me see how good I really am at this life shit,
Oh, I love that. I mean, are you able to use, you wrote Momstrology from the point of view of empowering parents?
Yeah.
I imagine.
Yeah.
So just tell me a little bit about that. How do you think it helps?
Well, so many parents are getting this one size fits all cookie cutter advice, or thinking, well, I did this, so I'm going to make sure my kid did that.
That's huge. We all look at our own backgrounds and we're well, that was good for me.
Right. So it'll work for them. Or why? Or you're well, my first kid is great, so I'll just have another. And then it'll be fine. And then you have a second one. It's oh, that didn't go as planned. And it's one of my friends once said to me, the mother is born with the child. I thought that was a great quote. She's Israeli. It's very Israeli.
Oh, yeah.
I think the mother is born with the child, but I was
right. Totally.
Oh my God. But I think that a lot of people are in shame all the time, secretly beating ourselves up. I mean, thank God for comedy so we can laugh at ourselves. But I think we're also shit, this is out of my range. I'm out of my depth. This is not my lane. What am I doing with this human being? Am I messing them up or not? So
every turn, everyone always loves just being well, save up for therapy. I mean, it doesn't matter what you do, save up for therapy. And I'm oh my goodness, do you understand what year we're in? My kid's in therapy now. I don't need to save. I'm paying
up. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Get a second job for the therapy.
Yeah, exactly. But so much shame and so much comparison.
All the time.
And so much information, obviously.
Yeah. And no sense of humor about yourself. So I love comedy and I love laughing, and I'm not a comedian professionally, but I think humor has always just been I wasn't born with the Schick's 6 foot tall, flat boobs and butt body.
Yeah.
I'm a curvy Jewess, so I had to be funny. So, but that's worked as whenever I can pull it off. So I think that we take ourselves too freaking seriously. So you're gonna do something weird as a parent, and your kid's gonna do something weird.
Yes.
If you're a Virgo parent, for example, you are going to be neurotically checking labels, or like just you're going to have some strange hang up, and you need to know that it's okay. You need to know that maybe there are a billion other people that share your sign that compulsively do the same things as you. And it's okay to be weird, not this perfect role model parent who's being graded by some invisible nanny in the sky, you know?
Yeah.
Super
Okay. So this
nanny.
is just to embrace, like, this is who I am unapologetically.
Exactly. Uh-huh. I mean, and like also like, ooh, maybe that isn't like when with all the books we write, like, okay, like first you're like, this is your tendency. And actually, now that you know that, you're a little more responsible for managing that. It's not like an excuse, like I'm an Aries, I can't go to work today. The moon's in my 12th house. It's more like, oh, yeah, I can be a little aggressive, and my delicate Pisces child may be a little traumatized by that. So why don't I find some coping mechanisms for my frustration and my short fuse? Do that orange rhino thing or whatever. Like, there's so many amazing resources out there, but there are
Yeah.
also too many. You don't know which ones to choose. So my hope is like, this is like that in between layer of guidance that's like, okay, I'm a Sagittarius. I have these traits. Some of them don't always work for my Libra child. I got to manage them today. What can I look at to manage that? Does that make
Oh,
sense?
it's like, I mean, there's a huge amount of therapy in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. You could cut those therapy bills down, I think. Yeah. At least your
One
own.
simple book. You can cut it down. One simple book. And you have a new book. But first, while we're still talking about this idea of your kids' forecast, which is interesting because I think whenever I think of looking at a horoscope or any astrology, I do always think about it as adults, something you do as a fully formed person. But of course, we're dealing, the information you get at the beginning is all based on time, month, when you were born, place that
Yeah.
you were born.
Mhm.
So when you're doing, I mean, kids' horoscopes just sounds hilarious. It
Yeah.
just sounds very funny because it just seems like, what are you going to tell a kid? Hey, you like to throw blocks.
Well,
Scale
no,
that
I
back.
mean, honestly, the yeah, right. You would think that, but it's like it's like the instruction manual to yourself. It's like it's this map of the sky at any human being's moment of birth, and it's a roadmap you can use. And I am very against the weird, like, oh, they're like this, I'm going to raise them this way. It's like I look at it
Right.
as like, let me see. I take kind of a scientific, curious observer approach. Like, I know that this is my daughter's map. Let's see if she shows up that way. And if she
Okay.
does, yeah. So like, I think that's the appropriate way. Like, even it's like, oh, my daughter has blood type B. Let's see if she can digest meat or something. It's like the same thing. Like, and if she does, great, feed her meat. But if not, then hey, I have some more information and knowledge here. So, and I know it sounds really weird and crazy because it would to me too. Like, I am not the kind of person would think like, oh, really? Yeah, you're going to believe in something you can't even see and use that to parent. But since I've literally looked at thousands of these things,
Yeah.
I trust that, I trust that there's something there.
Interesting. And, kids always defy all predictable outcomes. Doesn't matter. And I'm sure with both of your daughters, but even maybe more specific because you were really diving into it with your now high schooler, but your younger daughter. What was there a moment where you were like, you know what? I've kind of got this. I understand who I'm dealing with. I understand her communication. I've kind of predicted how this is going to go. But then, oh, totally didn't see this coming. This is not in the stars.
Um, you know, I will say, like, if something that I didn't see happening comes, I'll then check on the cosmic weather as compared to her chart and be like, oh wow, yeah, okay. Well, it helps me go, what? Yes. I mean, short answer, yeah, that's gonna happen all the time. You're
Sure.
gonna get lifed with your kids and you're set.
Life. I like
Yeah.
that.
So it's like, ooh, how could I deal with this? So that's when I'll look at so the individual's chart never changes. It's a freeze frame, but you can compare it to the moving planets at any moment and be like, what season are you in? What cycle? How long is that going to last? What was happening on that day? etc. So I can be like, she's going through that phase. Ooh, so then I can again use that as a way of guiding myself to the resources I pick to cope with.
Okay. And I mean, it's always worked for you. Was there ever a time where you were just like, screw all of this? I don't know what's going on. I mean, especially hormonal teenagers, I'm just thinking.
Yeah, I know that those things are both happening. So I'm not like constantly looking at her horoscope.
You're very wise, Ophira. You're very wise.
It's just, I'm like, all right, she's a moody little bitch today. And, that does defy astrology. That is hormonal for sure.
Right.
I wouldn't even bother looking at the astrology for like, oh, she's a hormonal teen. Great.
Yeah,
no astrology needed.
Right. You don't need to be like, hey, it's too much sun sign. We need more moon. Or I'm just making stuff up.
More cowbell.
More cowbell.
More Neptune. Yeah.
So then you've this new book out called The Astrology Advantage. And this is super specific. You've devised yet a brand new system. A brand new system. And to me, what I'm reading about it, the IM system, it's, based on 13 points on a chart, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And this gives you more in-depth, complicated, yet accurate reading. I mean, how do you even devise this? How do you even go about this?
Actually, an astrology trick that's been used for years. I just gave it a new branding, but it's called the chart dominance. So to the point of what we said earlier, when you look at just your sun sign or your zodiac sign, it feels trite and incomplete. And like, that's a fun little party trick. But when you look at the whole chart, it's like this wealth of information and this very valuable thing. But it just sounds like, I'm sure half the stuff I said on this podcast, I'm not even insulted if people think this at this point, sounds like insane gibberish or another language. And that was this. I said in the book, astrology is a marketing problem because it's a super useful tool that nobody can use. It's like one of those Swiss Army knives.
Funny.
Like, what is this thing on here? So we took it and kind of put it in a blender and then found the dominant, what's called qualities in astrology, which is like your drivers, your motivations. And we called them innovator, authority, and maven.
Yes.
And then there's a parenting chapter in this book too. It's like, how do you apply that to every important part of life?
Yeah.
Teamwork, to communication, to playing well with others, to relationships, living together, laying out your office or your home decor. So like I said, here is the guide to life.
Laying out your office and your home decor to make you more productive. Yeah. All right. So listeners, let me just tell you this. You can go on the website, which will be in the show notes. And you can take a quiz right there and there that will tell you based on, I guess, what is it? Your sun sign. So when you were born, what time you were born.
Time, date, and place of birth. Yeah.
And place. Mm-hmm. And then it will tell you what percentage of innovator, maven, or authority you are.
Yep.
Okay. So I just will tell you, much like everything in my life, I scored like 30%, 38%, 30%.
Yeah, you're pretty
Again,
even, but you
impossible.
Are
Impossible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. So you can dip into all those, but the maven is the communicator, the performer, podcast hosts. Mavens are always like in dialogue with other people. So
okay.
We have a more fleshed out version of it that also shows your dominant element: fire, earth, air, and water. So you're 7 fire, 1 earth, 5 air, and no water, which is
0 water.
0 water.
Bad hydration.
So, yeah. You need to hydrate. So you're a fire maven. There's actually 84 combinations people can do. It's called the IM diagram. Basically it's my nerdy University of Michigan self. I was like, what if you could look at the chart like a spreadsheet, like that type of chart? And you can. And when people see it laid out that way, they're like, oh, that's what I'm looking at. Okay. I've used it for, 5 or more, maybe 10 years with clients and students, and I've done business astrology courses for people. And they just get it, and then they can just use their I am archetype and I'm just trying to help people make decisions and get unstuck.
So, parents have huge decision fatigue
Right.
because everybody has to make a bazillion decisions, and depending on what your job is, you make a bazillion decisions. But in your household, you have to make a bazillion decisions as a
Right.
parent, and everyone feels so weighted, I think.
Yeah, they do. They really do. And that's why I love astrology. I mean, I found it at a time of life when I was making a lot of decisions. I was finishing college. I didn't know what to do. Had been dating. All my friends were dating, and we'd look up everybody's sign and chart after that, like, oh, he's got Mercury in Pisces.
Yeah.
That's why he doesn't call you back or whatever. Just, we all need help making decisions.
Yes.
We need to laugh at ourselves because that calms our nervous systems down. Then we need the relief of feeling seen and that there is hope and there is help. We're all trying to figure out way too much shit by ourselves.
Yes, absolutely. And so, and you personally use this to help you make decisions?
I do. All day, every day. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Can you give me one example?
Absolutely.
A recent one? I don't know.
Sure.
Or you can give me one from 10 years ago. I wouldn't know.
I can give you one from any day. I was given 2 book release dates, for example, July 9th and August 27th. Now,
Okay.
August 27th was a day that every 12 years, Jupiter, which is the planet that rules publishing, was going over Saturn, which is lifetime achievement kind of thing in my chart. So I have Saturn at 17 degrees Gemini in my chart. Jupiter, for the first time in 12 years, happened only every 12, was coming to that same degree right on that day. Mercury was retrograde. I was like, not ideal, but...
Sorry, but Mercury is always in retrograde.
It always is. And it was like, oh, that's not ideal for a book launch. But I was like, all right, I got to invest in some PR because Saturn is like more like a weight, I've got to offset that. Saturn is when kind of like, it's like more like the thing you worked on for years and years. So both in Gemini, which rules books. So I was like, I'm going to pick that date. And I did. And this is the first of all the books I've ever written. It just became a USA Today national bestseller.
Amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yesterday. And that is so spot on. With that chart. So
thank you, stars and planets. And your hard work. Okay. I imagined, I think the playground days, the parent playground days are a little bit in your rear view mirror, but I imagine when you are hanging out with the parents, if you did any of that and they're like, what do you do? And you said, oh, I'm this person, astrology. Were they just on you immediately? I want my reading. I want to know, I want this.
Some were. Actually, the first person I met, I moved outside of New York City part-time to a small town called Nyack. And luckily, the first person I met she was like, awesome. She was giving me a tour of the nursery school. And a year later, I hired her, and she's been our managing editor for over a decade. So luckily, the first person I met did. But actually, a lot of them were like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. But they're not that into it up here, surprisingly. Okay. However, I have a ton of audience members and like private clients who are parents and are like, oh my God, yes, please. So, but weirdly, it was just, I was like, these are not my people all the time if you're not into this stuff. So, I mean, it was fine, but it was just like, I felt like kind of the weirdo a lot of the time. Like,
I feel like the weirdo.
Scorpio, maybe, I'm just, he's going to be tired today because the moon is in, oh yeah. God, do they want to know this, or am I just like that?
Should you tell them? Have you ever given people a little bit of them, before asking?
Oh yeah. I've given them insight. They actually really love it. I'm lying. Yeah. They love it. So yeah.
They love it. No, everybody, this is what I keep coming back to. Everyone's looking for answers. Everyone's looking for guidance, and everyone wants a fresh take of it.
Yeah.
And I think parents more than ever. There's just endless amounts of things written right now. I think calling out to parents saying things have never been harder. There's never been less social structures for you. Community has never been worse. The job structure has never been more destructive to family balance. But nothing's being done.
No. It's not. And that's why I'm like, why not astrology? Like, I'll try anything because it's a shit show out there. Parenting in this country is just like, we have it so good here in terms of our material comfort in some ways that we don't realize. Like, we actually are working so hard. It's unsustainable parenting. Like I'm ready to turn this place into a kibbutz again without having to like
Absolutely.
fight, like not the kind where like you had to bring Nikes and deodorant to your relatives every time you visited, but not quite that. But like we need some communal stuff here. I need some body doubling in my life. I need some people around.
Yes. More adults to help.
Yeah.
Yes. So one thing you mentioned actually on your podcast, and I thought this was so interesting, and I think you were talking about it in relation to the exact kind of political climate we're in, but I think it is so applicable to parenting, which parenting can be so polarizing. We all feel very separate from each other. People are very hardcore about their belief system, whether we're talking about, I don't know, it starts at the beginning with sleep training, let alone where you raise your kid, let alone where they go to school, gentle parenting, being so involved that you might be called a dragon mom or what. We have all these terrible terms. Tiger mom. Yes. So, but you said that astrology is one of the only places where differences are celebrated.
Yeah.
And I love that. Tell me about that a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's like it takes the sting out of it. Like we're so, hurt and wounded by identity politics. I mean, get me just growing up with an Israeli dad in largely Arab neighborhood and then watching what's happening in Israel and Gaza and just being like, I feel helpless. This is not my reality. Like, these are my friends. Like, what the hell is going on here? How do I make it stop? It's just,
how do I enter the conversation? How do I make it stop? How do I contribute in a way that's meaningful? Yeah.
Yeah. And I haven't found a way except to just continue being who I am, being inclusive, being welcoming, modeling. I have so many friends who are Arab American and like refusing to polarize or do anything but continue that's my part, or like just embracing people for who they are. And I'm working with an amazing Palestinian client. She's been a client of mine for a decade. I'm helping her come up with she's doing a really cool hat line celebrating the great cultural parts of the heritage. And it's just like, okay, like, here we go. This is awesome that we're doing this. So I think we just have to find the commonalities, but also like those differences are not as wounding or stinging or personal, or nationalism messes everything up.
That is very true.
I think that's what it is.
That is very true. So maybe if everyone just took a step back and did their chart.
Yeah. Which you can do for free on my website.
Which you can do for free on your website. Yeah.
Excellent. I am also, if you don't want to get overwhelmed by a chart, just go to astrostyle.com/IAM. But you need your time, date, and place of birth for all of those. If you don't know your time, check your birth certificate. It may not be on there. You may get one thing off. Your rising sign, you're not sure about yours 100%. Right?
Yeah, what does that mean? If I'm not sure about my time, does that mean just everything's off forever?
No,
I'll never know?
It just means, well, it means you might be a different rising sign. But I mean, to me, Sag rising tracks. You're
okay.
Funny.
Thanks. Yeah. Appreciate that. See, validity, being validated from the source is what I'm looking for. Yeah.
Right. The fellow Ophira.
Ophira.
11 months younger today.
It's so crazy. It is so crazy. Well, I have been digging into the book, and I am so looking forward to getting to I'm just in the beginning of your new book, The Astrology Advantage. That is on the charts that's so great that you were able to at least put yourself through in a situation by picking the right day to celebrate your book even more.
Right.
Well done. But I'm looking forward to using it to understand, I don't know, my relationships better with my husband, better with my kid.
Everything. You'll have to report back and let me know.
Okay. I'll report back and let you know. Thank you so much. So what is, I'm leaving you on a day where I'm podcasting with you, but you have a book out. You have clients. What is an average Ophira day look like with a high schooler?
Trying to make sure that I finish work before 2:15 instead of an hour later, I guess. Yeah.
gosh.
But no, she's become much more self-sufficient. I actually, I'm cool with it. We're only on day 3 though, you know? Day 3 of high school. I managed to peel her out of bed, but it's like creeping into later and later every day. So we'll see how that goes. Check with me after daylight savings.
Right. I will. See, let me know what we can do from from the stars' point of view for daylight savings. Can we switch that? Can you get them on that?
Can we get rid of that? Yeah.
Can we get rid of that? I know for the farmers. I can only say this once. Thank you so much, Ophira.
Oh my God, right? Never. It's just so surreal. So it has been a joy. Our Ophira E loop. May it not take another 10 years. No, we have an awesome mutual friend now, so I know we'll be seeing each other again.
That's right. And I'd love to have you back on in a while to discuss the next climate that we're in. Next climate.
I will happily talk about that one.
Fantastic. All right. Awesome. Thanks, Ophira.
Bye.